Bryce, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
You have a really long history with chess, don't you?
I do, yes. I've been working on it with Danny Strong and Michael Mayer since we started, at the Kennedy Center. So it's almost 10 years. We've been working on it back and forth for years.
You know, when I look at the arbiter, I think he's a player in the show, he's a narrator, and you're also commenting on the action. So you're doing a lot. So
Yeah.
tell me about balancing that.
Yeah, I sort of think of it like he's an MC, which means he's a host. You know, I'm setting the table for our superstars to eat, as it were.
Superstars.
Our superstars, the three of them right there,
And they do eat.
They,
just to be clear.
yeah. Some might say they Aaron Tveit. No, they 5, 6, 7 Tveit.
Some might
last
say that.
night they vate. Now forget it. I set the table for them to come in and crush it, and so I'm a host, but I'm also I relate to the audience. I'm sort of like the proxy for you on stage to help you know that you're seeing what you're actually seeing. So when there's something funny or sexy or scary that happens on stage, me commenting on it hopefully lets you know that you're seeing what you're seeing, and some of the stuff you're going to see is ludicrous. I tell you that right at the beginning, so that I think it takes the pressure off of the audience member to feel like they have to follow every single detail, because they know that I'm going to catch them up. I'm going to make sure you have all the information you need to enjoy this music, to enjoy the lyrics, Tim Rice's lyrics. And what I think Danny Strong's new book has done so well is fused the political drama with this love triangle. And I'm sort of the synthesis of those two things, and keeping you abreast of what's happening in both sort of directions.
I find the collaboration between you and Danny Strong fascinating. So I got to interview him. I was very lucky to talk to him. And he said he had never seen chess before when everyone knows the music. Everyone knows the music. But he really looked at it with fresh eyes. Did you have some ad libs that came into the script? Did he come to you? Because you have a long history, like you said. So I'm wondering how it all came together.
Yeah, I think in our earliest rehearsal period, I was actually not as familiar with chess as maybe everybody. You know, I went to drama school, so a lot of my musical history theater, musical theater history lessons have happened in rehearsal rooms. And so I was kind of playing catch up with chess, to be honest. And I think Danny and I were both in that boat, which provided us a sort of, perspective. Why don't we try this? And once we found that energy together, and once I felt that he was game for me to just play a little bit, in our earliest incarnation, I was throwing ad libs into the room because my comfort space is just trying to make myself and others laugh. That's what I'm trying to do in a rehearsal room. Ever since I was a kid, I'm trying to make my classmates laugh, and my teachers are angry at me because I'm, the class clown. And so that energy still lives somewhere in me, in that playful spirit in the rehearsal room. And so I was doing that in our first 2-week rehearsal period, just throwing out things here and there to try and get some humor into the room, because chess can be, and is at times, very serious and very sort of, intense. The stakes are high. And I think part of what we've succeeded in doing with the arbiter is creating a pressure release, so that you, the audience member, don't feel like you're on the edge of your seat for 3 hours. You have a second to sit back, take a breath, you can laugh with me, and sort of regain your strength for the next, amazing anthem that's going to come your way. Early days with Danny, we found this back and forth where I would ad-lib something, he would make it better, and it would be a new line the next day, or
And it makes it more accessible for the audience.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it is more accessible to you when it feels like it's coming from the person who's delivering it. A lot of my lines feel like they're just me.
Yeah.
Because and they fit like a glove, because I said a version of them in rehearsal. And as I say, I would either make a line Danny chose, I would put it into my own words and we would use that, or he would take an ad lib that I said and he would make it fit better with the story, or he would make the rhythms better, because he's an actor too, you know, and he likes writing comedy as much as I like performing it, and vice versa. So the back and forth was a really special collaboration.
So I read this quirky thing that your father-in-law was in the original cast of Chess in London.
Yes.
So we should tell people that you married into acting royalty.
Yes, the
with the
Strallens.
Strallen Langford theatrical dynasty.
Yes.
You're obviously married to Scarlett Strallen,
Yes.
who's a wonderful actress, and a lot of people know her from Mary Poppins. And her father was in Chess.
Yeah, so Scarlett tells the story of when she was, I don't know, six or seven. She remembers going to the theater, and one of her first memories is seeing her father, Sandy Strallen, in Chess. And he was in the original company. And so when Chess came about, and I didn't know as much about it as Scarlett did, she said, "Oh my gosh, you have to do it. You have to do it. I don't care, just do it." And sure enough, she was right, as she is about most things. And we're now bringing our kids to see me in Chess, and having this like full circle family moment, which is really special and meaningful outside of the show. But yes, I'm very lucky to be connected to the London Strallens for sure.
Well, they are a very talented family. All the sisters, Aunt Bonnie, everybody. Are there karaoke nights in this family? Because it must be intense, much more intense than Chess, actually.
We did have a dance party the last time we were there. And like, if you've seen Chess, you know what my dancing is like. And like, we're talking about professional dancers in their family. So we're waiting to see where our kids are going to land, if they're going to land on the Pinkham side dancing or the Strallen side. We're all hoping, myself included, for the Strallen side. But yeah, it's a great time when we're all together. And Scarlett, you know, I think she's one of the most talented performers I've ever met. I fell in love with her as a person, and then I saw her on stage at the New Yorkers at City Center. And I saw her sing this song called I Happen to Like New York. And she had just come back from London, and we had just started dating. And I saw her sing this song, and I was like, I'm going to make a family with that person. Like, it was one of those like magic theater moments. And still to this day, anytime she walks out on stage, I'm like, whoa, that's my wife. So I'm very lucky to be a part of that family, and to have Scarlett in my life.
If not for the dance competitions, you're in good hands.
Mostly for the notes I get on my dancing, yeah.
I can imagine. Speaking of something that's a little bit off or quirky or weird, I just want to ask you about the arbiter, because first of all, an arbiter is truly a real role in a chess match, right?
The referee for a chess match, making sure that all the players are following the rules, that there's no untoward behavior. You know, as I say in the song, you know, no hypnotists, no gurus, chanting gurus, walkie-talkies, you know, anything that anybody could use to influence the game. The arbiter is there to sort of arbitrate that those disputes.
Right, but he's just known as the arbiter.
Correct.
Did you create a backstory for him? Does he have a name in your mind? Did you figure out what he had for breakfast and all of that stuff?
No, the breakfast piece, no. But I do think about, I'm still working on a name for him that I'm trying.
I mean, you came up with a drink. If anyone watches Hannah Cruz's vlog, he has the artini.
Yes, yes.
So you got the drink, but not the
Yeah, but
name.
not the backstory. And anyone who works with me knows that, you know, there are inside-out actors, there are outside-in actors, and I'm outside out.
Outside out.
Yeah. So
Very outside.
No backstory, just front story.
Say the lines.
No, I'm still working on a name for him. There's one moment in the show where I sort of have to, well, I don't have to, but I've chosen to sort of like talk to myself. And I've tried different names, you know, come on, Ronald, or like, come on, maybe it's Ronald. No, come on, Davis. You know, I don't.
Does he have a nationality in your mind?
Good question, because technically he should be neutral, right? So he shouldn't actually be American or Russian. You know, maybe he is British. I think in the show that you're going to come see, it's me. So he's basically American, or like heightened American, maybe mid-Atlantic.
And a really good dancer.
And a fabulous dancer of the Strallen family. But yeah, no, I haven't done any good acting work on him. Mostly because my relationship is not with any other characters. I mean, I'm a couple scenes as the referee, but my main relationship is with the audience. Like I spend most of my time communicating with the audience and feeding off of them and their need to figure out what is happening on stage. And so that kind of feels mostly like me, a performer, saying, don't worry, I got you. Like I'm going to set the scene for you. I'm going to give you all the facts you need to watch those three superstars blow the roof off the Imperial Theater.
So when you got into the theater and had an audience for the first time, was that wild for you to have that feedback?
Absolutely. And like, imagine me in the rehearsal room at Open Jar being like, 1979, the entire world, just to the wall, you know? And then finally getting to the Imperial and having 1,600, roaring fans, ravenous for chess. It was quite the adjustment period, but I also was thrilled to finally have feedback, to finally have my scene partner. And it's part of what I think keeps the performance fresh and enjoyable for me is that every audience is different. We had a different audience today than we'll have tonight. And that's kind of thrilling. It keeps you on your toes. And I get to respond to what's actually happening in the room, which is, kind of rare when you're in a musical that has to sort of, make sure you hit all your marks. Like I have the ability to adjust a little bit here and there based on what's happening in the theater.
So many people know the score. So many people, even if they've been going to Broadway shows for a long time, have not seen Chess because it hasn't been on Broadway since the original production in the 80s. And then there are, like you say, the chess heads, the people who really care a lot about it and really wanted it to come back and are excited about it. So can you sort of see in the audience where the hot spots are of the people who are truly committed?
First of all, I'm at a vantage point. I spent a lot of the show like high up and looking down, and the lighting is such that I can see, everyone's face in the first 5 rows of the audience. So
keep that in mind if you come.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't make eye contact during the show, but I do spend some time like just making sure, sort of, again, taking the temperature of the room. And oftentimes while I'm doing that, sneaking little peeks at you, I'll see people mouthing along with the lyrics. We had someone today who was like, I met them after the show. They had traveled all the way from Germany to see our show.
Wow.
And they were mouthing along with every single lyric. So we have those fans, and I also get to see, my other favorite thing is seeing someone who's never seen it, who doesn't know the story. We had someone in the first or second row the other day who there's a lot of great reveals in chess. I won't give them away, but there's one great reveal, and this audience member, I just watched her go, which is that's what you live for as a performer, right? Is like, wow, we did that. We're telling this story and it's affecting someone in a dramatic way. And yeah, I think there's a lot of, I don't call it pressure, but I think, I guess you could call it, I don't know, what would you call it? Like, it is responsibility that we feel to the creators who are, these amazing artists who, for whatever reason with this show, feel like they never got it completely right, or it never had the right launch pad. The music didn't. People have always loved the score, and then the book has kind of been this like...
They've been wrestling with it for a long time.
That's very well said. And I think we felt the responsibility and the real sort of like honor and care of getting to rejuvenate it and bring it back to life with the 20, 30-year perspective on the story and on the Cold War. I think I think what works about our show is that it's told with retrospect. Whereas when my father-in-law was doing the show, the Cold War was happening.
Right.
And so it was a different type of stakes. Whereas now, as I'm telling the story, I'm almost sort of like telling it like a documentary or like a history lecture. It's much more exciting than a history lecture.
Well,
no offense to history teachers.
You've got these three powerhouse. No offense, but no one's belting like these.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So show me a history teacher who can sing "Pity the Child," and I'll go to their lectures every week.
When
yes,
you
we have these three.
first heard Nicholas Christopher and Aaron Tveit and Leah Michelle belt their faces off, did you make that face that you just showed me of the astonished audience member?
I remember the first time Aaron sang "Pity the Child" in the room. And I was just frozen.
All the jaws dropped to the floor.
Yeah, and Leah, of course, I've loved and listened to Leah's voice before, but on our first read through, when she sang her final number, I was like, what is it about her voice? And something about it, the way she uses it, it's like listening to a sunrise.
Wow.
Like there's all the different colors of a sunrise in her voice. And like in one song, the sun can rise, blaze down, and set all in one song. Like she's so masterful. And then Nicholas, I just feel like the man is defying physics. Like there's a moment in the show where you're just, that's the other favorite moment of the show, is I can see the audience react to this moment Nicholas has near the end where he is inexplicably singing. I won't give it away, but it's just this moment where you're like, how is this happening?
Right.
Like where?
I know what moment we all do.
You know what moment I'm talking about. Like the laws of physics do not apply here. And I watch this ripple effect happen through the audience. The first row gets it first because he's right there while it's happening. And then I watch it sort of spread back as people realize, that's not fake. He's doing that. That is happening. It's still happening. How is this happening? So I would say he's just a marvel. He's like a marvel of modern musical theater science, in addition to being a swell person. And the one thing I want to mention about the three of them is that I'm a parent and I have two little ones. The three of them have kids and are doing what they do with kids at home, small kids, and with the help of, like Scarlett, their partners.
Right.
And like that takes work and effort and coordination and buy-in and
so little rest.
And so little rest. I mean, Aaron has a baby and he comes in and sings Pity the Child twice a day sometimes. I mean, it's remarkable what they've crafted, performances that blow you away at night and don't blow out their voices so they can do it the next day. It's next level craftsmanship because it's not a one-off concert. They had to craft these performances so they could sing it every night, go home, be a parent at 6, 5 in the morning, and figure out how to show up for rehearsal. So they're impressive on stage and off as far as I'm concerned.
One of the reasons why I think chess is so successful is because, like you said, you're our entree as the audience, and you are as astonished by them as we are.
Yeah, well, it's not hard. I mean, and that is what I said about like the arbiter being the sort of stand-in for the audience on stage. It was like one of my favorite things one of my favorite ad-libs, which we ended up keeping in the show, is after Hannah Cruz sings her first song. And, she's the top of Act 2, and she just comes out of nowhere in this sort of like vocal supernova. And I just walk out on stage and go, oh, like it is a kind of like, wait, there's more vocal pyrotechnics to be had in this show. Like there's another heavy hitter here. And she brings this whole other energy and part of the storyline that's, if you don't know it, is crucial to what happens. So yeah, it's not hard for me to walk out and say, oh, and like some of them, like after Leah sings, I come out and I go, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Because what are you going to say? What am I going to say to make that experience better than what you just, I don't have to say anything. And that's why they're special.
Thank you for being speechless for us.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Some people wish I was more speechless.
No, they don't. They don't. And thank you for joining me. It's so great to see you.
Oh, likewise. Thanks for having me.